Hey gang, so here's a story. It's coming up to the holiday season and you're going shopping online and you're out of the house. Maybe you're at one of those coffee shops or at a hotel and you type in your Amazon information, your username and your password, and you find the perfect gift and you decide, even though you're in a coffee shop, you're going to buy it, great. But at the same time, what happened is you got hacked. Now, that's not the only way it happens, but it could be one way this happens. Now, if you get hacked, it's one thing. But if you reuse that password that you use for Amazon or for your bank or for Netflix or for Google over and over again, that's an open door for the hacker to be able to access all your information. Because what are they going to do if they got your username and password? They're going to see whether you reuse it over and over and over again. So this video is going to be about passwords, and in particular, it's about password managers, why they're important, what people use, what I'm using, what you need to know. Why don't we start the conversation? And I'm going to go to a web page right here with the most common passwords used in the past 7 or 8 years. And if you're looking at this list, you're probably laughing because really people use stuff like password and 1234566 and 1234567. If any of your passwords are on this list, stop the video right now, change the password, and then come back and watch the video again, because you really can't have you using passwords like that. So those are the most common passwords. So what's password manager? Well, a password manager is, as the name indicates, it's a tool that allows you to make sure that you have unique passwords, if you use it properly, of course, for all of your different sites. And you're protected because you have a single, really hard to break master password. In fact, a password that even the password manager doesn't store. We're going to take a look at this in a second. Now, we're talking about stuff right here. There is a pretty cool article from All Things Secured about whether they are safe or not. And the bottom line with password managers, like any sort of protection, is it's as good as you're going to use it. You know, if you're really thorough and your passwords are difficult to break, then it's really good. But there's always the possibility that the password companies can get hacked too. That was always my hesitation to ever going with a password manager in the first place. But clearly safer to have one than to not have one. Now you might ask, why just not use the browser that you have? So Google, Safari, Chrome, they all have the ability for the browser to store passwords. Now, other than the fact that I want to diversify where my information is, especially with Google and all the stuff that's out there, let's take a look. Did you know that if you typed in passwords.google.com, all your password sites, and I only have a few here because I stopped using it years and years ago, and I think the ones that are here don't even work anymore. Just matter of fact, I'm thinking about it right now. I should get rid of all these anyway. But this was stuff years and years ago I had, and Google stores them on the server. So if Google gets hacked, there's your stuff. And if you get hacked and they get your Google password, all they have to do is go to the site. They're going to click on one of these passwords here. Now what's going to happen here, it's going to ask to verify the password. I'm not going to do that right now, but the bottom line is they can, and they have all your passwords, everything. So I don't use browsers for this purpose. Now Firefox, Safari, it's stored more locally. It's in your browser settings, security. Stop using the browsers for your password manager. Get an independent product. We'll go back to this screen just so we have it. And really where we want to go right now is here. This is the password manager that I use. It is Dashlane. Remember, gang, I don't recommend anything, but I spoke to an awful lot of people a number of years ago, and everyone told me this was top of the line. Now I pay yearly fee, about 40 bucks a year, but it goes across all my devices. And that's what I really like about it. So if somebody actually hacked into my password manager, which is very possible, right? You know, and they're looking at my Amazon, they're going to go to more, and wow, I can edit the item here. I can find out, oh, there's the password. Let me hit show. No, thank you. Because now I have to put in that master password. And this is the essence of any good password manager. You need to create a single password that is so difficult, might even be difficult for you to remember, but so difficult and so long that they're not going to be able to use all the different techniques they have to break passwords. In fact, it's going to take them so long to do it, they're going to go on to someone who uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as their password. So you need a strong master password. And by the way, I am not going to put my password in here right now, but you all get the idea. My 1Password is, well, I'm not going to tell you anything. My passwords for all my sites are random numbers and letters, and I like them to be 20 characters or longer. I know folks tell you 12 is good. Make them long. You shouldn't have to remember them. Make your password manager do all the heavy lifting there. Okay. Here's another good option. So if you don't like Dashlane, we'll bypass here and we'll go to something like LastPass. I know a lot of friends use LastPass and love it. And in fact, they were hacked recently, a couple of years ago. But from what I found out, none of the information about people's passwords got leaked. That's pretty good security. So LastPass, Dashlane, two really good tools. I don't care which one you use. Make sure it's a legitimate one and make sure it's one that is reputable. So do your due diligence, do a Google search and put in best password managers. In fact, I believe PC Magazine does an annual best password manager of the year. That way, at least you have options. On top of that, two-factor authentication. You know what that is. That's the code you get texted in 4 or 6 digits to make sure it's you. Is your Google account set up for that? Is your Facebook account set up for that? Mine is. And while it's sometimes a bit of a pain in the butt every time I have to get that text and get it in there, I know I am really, really safe that way. In fact, this site, authy.com, is one of the best independent two-factor authentication tools that are out there. You can use that and use it on multiple sites if you want. It's free of charge. Love it, love it, love it. So a couple other things we want to talk about before we go on here. Again, fraudulent products, make sure you don't use them, please, 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 please. And as we're talking about this, what's coming down the pike is something called FIDO, the Fast Identify Online Community. It's a bunch of different major tech organizations who are setting standards for better security in the future, including two-factor authentication and biodynamics. In fact, I'm going to put a link here somewhere, maybe, I don't know where it is. There'll be a link to a video that you'll be able to take a very quick look at FIDO, not the dog, but the identity explained. Cool stuff, right? So why don't we just do this and let's review where we are here. We're ending this up. You see my Dashlane up there. Now you might just see me. I don't know. But the review of the password managers. Don't use the same passwords over and over again. Please use a password manager. Have a really, really good master password. I'm suggesting 20 characters or more. And by the way, don't make it a series of names that people can guess or that are in the dictionary. Make it random, but you gotta remember it because those other organizations, all the hackers that are out there, are going to try to figure out what that master password is. And by the way, as a reminder for the 42nd time, the password company doesn't store your master password. So remember it. Use two-factor authentication. Down the pike, FIDO will be of help. Biometrics clearly is a game changer. I think if we're talking 5 or 10 years, the whole idea of passwords might go away. You're going to have the blockchain. You're going to have quantum computing. They're going to be fighting for how our identity is stored and saved and protected. That's another story for a video probably in 2029, not 2019. But for now, use a password manager, especially as you're doing that holiday shopping. Thanks for watching. This is in a series called The Anatomy of Your Anonymity. And we're going to do a whole bunch of videos here in no particular order to make you more secure. Hope you enjoy. Be well. See you soon.